Okay, I'm so excited. I love these Wednesday night calls. I just love them to pieces because I get to talk to everybody. And tonight I want to talk about probably one of the most important subjects if you are an Arbonne consultant, and that is how to get to district manager and how to help other people get to district manager. That is the base level management level in Arbonne. And you've probably heard this before. If you can get to district manager, you can get to national vice president. And why that is because all you do is, once you get to district manager, is keep doing the same thing over and over and over and over again. That's all you do until you've promoted out enough district managers that now you have an area, then a region, and then a nation. You don't do anything different. So what I'm going to talk about is kind of three phases. Why you want to be a district manager, how you kind of get there money-wise, and then what activity do you do? What does your activity look like to get you from consultant to district manager? And if you're already a district manager, then this is what you want to teach to the consultants on your team and help them get to district manager. So the first thing, why? Well, it's important to understand the benefits of being a district manager. You know, the more you know, the more comfortable you are sharing this. And if you are a consultant in this business, or you're a district manager or an area manager or an RVP or an MVP, you should be constantly encouraging your team, get to district manager, get to district manager, get to district manager. Be excited about it, be promoting it. Just create that excitement in your team to be a district manager. I love being a district manager. I am still, even though I'm an executive regional vice president, I am still a district manager. I have my own district and I love my district. It is where I get paid the most amount of money. It's where my leaders come from. It's where my direct managers come from. That's my baby. It's like when I had my tanning salons, it's like they were my baby and I loved on them and did all those things. That's your district. So a couple of things. You will make more money as a district manager than you do as a consultant, bottom line, because you're getting an 8% raise on not only your own personal purchases and sales, but on the consultants in your district. And not only the consultants you sponsor, but the consultants that somebody else sponsors and the preferred clients that someone else sponsors. So let's say I'm a consultant and I've sponsored 3 consultants, and those 3 consultants have sponsored several PCs and maybe even a couple of consultants. I'm only getting paid on those 3 consultants. I'm not getting paid on anybody else in my group. But when I go to district manager, now I'm getting paid on the whole package, that whole district. So that can be a pretty good size raise. I have district managers on my team that get $1,200 and $1,500 checks. That's good. That's really, really good. So you're going to get paid more money on the same effort when you become a district manager. You're still going to do the same thing that you're doing as a consultant. You're just going to get paid more money. One of the things that I love about being a district manager is I get paid on my own orders. I get paid that 8% on my own orders. So I put in an order this month already of almost 1,400 QV just for my family. We have 5 basically adults by the time you count my 3 almost grown teenagers. We go through everything from toothpaste and deodorant and shampoo and body wash, and Catherine just gave me this almost $200 order of makeup that she needed, and protein shakes, and you name it. I mean, we do everything. We do the phytosport. We do everything in our house. So that big order that I put in, well, guess what? I got an extra 8% back on that. So that's pretty substantial. So that alone, getting to district manager, is you're getting paid that extra 8% on your own personal is huge. And then, of course, as a district manager, you're now entitled to the bonus of $200 extra every single month. And if you do that bonus 12 months out of the year, that's an extra, do the math, $2,400 a year. Okay, so $2,400 a year. And I want to know what job that you can get out there where at the end of the year they give you a $2,400 bonus, cash bonus. You know, I know people that get a turkey or a ham, maybe. We get a $2,400 bonus. And our bond doesn't even make us wait until the end of the year. They give us $200 every month if we earn it. So it's a really good gig. So how do you get to district manager? What's the nitty gritty? What do you need to have? And I know there's several consultants on this call, so I want you to understand this. You have a choice. You can do this in 1 month, 2 months, or 3 months. This is the only level you can do in 1 month. And we've had several consultants do it in 1 month. The majority do it in 2 months. Sometimes you have somebody drag it out to 3, but I really strongly, highly recommend that you do not drag it out to 3. If you have some noise in the background, if you could just mute yourself, that would be great. If you have any questions, you can always unmute yourself. So if you're going to choose to do it in 1 month, you're going to, well, let me back up just 1 second. It doesn't matter if you're going to do it in 1 month, 2 months, or 3 months. You need to have 1,000 personal qualifying volume under your ID number over the qualification period, whether it's 1 month, over 2 months, or over 3 months. So let's say you're doing it in 2 months. You can have $200 1 month and $800 in another month, or $500 and $500, or you can get all the 1,000 done in 1 month. But you always have to make sure you have 150 under your ID number anyway. So, you know, you're probably getting that much every month just for your own personal stuff anyway. And your preferred clients who are personal to you count for that. That counts as your own personal volume. Okay, does everybody understand that? You can nod your head if you do. If you don't, nod your head on that too. So the 1,000 PQV. Now, totally in your entire group, if you're doing it in 1 month or you're doing it in 2 months, you need 6,000. Now that 1,000 that you do personally, or any amount that you do personally, counts toward that 6,000. So it's not like you need 1,000 plus 6,000. You need 6,000, and whatever you personally do, whether it's 1,000 or 6,000, that's the number, 6,000. You need a minimum of 2,500 group in the beginning month and the ending month. Okay, so let's say it's January and you're a consultant and you have $500 of personal QV, and let's say we're at the end of the month, January 31st, and you have 500 PQV and you have a total of 2,500 group QV. That means you're in qualification. Okay, you're at that 2,500, you've got 500 in your personal. Now in February, you're gonna look, you need 3,500. The balance of that, okay, you need the balance, I was just gonna mute it, everybody. The balance of that 6,000 you're gonna need to do the second month. Okay, anybody not understand that? Okay, you need to be able to teach this. So you need $6,000. At least $1,000 has to be under your number between you and your PCs. Okay, and you need at least 25. They want to see a balanced business between the 2 months. So you need at least 2,500 in both the start and the second month. Okay, so what they're saying is they don't want to see you do 1,000 group 1 month and 5,000 group the next month. Now there's a caveat there. You can do 1,000 PQV your first month, get into qualification, and if you really go crazy the second month and do 5,000 over your group or personal, you can get it. Okay, because that caveat is that all you need to do to go into qualification is have that 1,000 personal. Okay. If you have questions on this, talk to me, because I want you to understand this so you can teach it to other people. It's so, if people understand this, they can do this. Okay. If you're going to stretch it out to 3 months, you need 7,500 over the 3 months. So 2,500, 2,500, 2,500. You still need 1,000 of that to be your personal. Okay. Now, what does that $2,500 look like? It looks like 5 group presentations. So Shayna just said she did almost $900 spa party. You know, I go with an average of 500. That's doable. So you need 5 of them. So you book 6. You make sure you have 6 spa party presentations on your calendar every single month. There's your 2,500. Okay, not only that, because people are having so much fun, you should walk away with 2 bookings. So now you have future business. So now you're going into your next month and getting those bookings. So I want you to do, you need to do a couple things. First, if you're writing things down, you need to choose your plan. Are you going to do it in 1 month, 2 months, or 3 months? I recommend 1 or at the very least 2. Don't stretch it out to 3. You need to write your vision. Your vision is, I am a district manager. Or I am a district manager and I am a district manager making machine. That's even better because it's not just about you. Then you need to write your monthly goal. So if we're in January, your monthly goal is, I will do a minimum of 2,500 group. Okay. Or if you want to do it in 1 month, just kick it out and get that 6,000 in. Whatever your monthly goal is. And then write out your plan. What are you going to do to make that happen? Figuring that about $500 you're going to get per presentation. Okay, if you are going for the 6,000, then what do you need? You need 12 presentations. It breaks it down real easy, that 500. You need to believe. So, you know, I wanted to do this at the beginning of the year because I want to get us this year started off on the right foot. I know you all have goals, and I want you to reach these goals. And this is my tried and true method in this business called network marketing, more specifically Arbonne. This is a method that I have been using for, I don't know, I started actually doing the business about 15 years ago. That I really started committing to this business, and I have used the same method ever since. Okay, so I'm going to give you 3 things. One is, have a goal to talk to 5 people a day about Arbonne. It can be as simple as asking for a reorder, following up on an order, following up with a prospect, asking for a party date. This is the #1 skill that will get you to the top with Arbonne. Get into the habit of talking to at least 5 people every day, no matter what, 5 people. You can do this when you're out and about, standing in the grocery store line, at the library, making phone calls, social media, sending private messages. If you see, you know, if you see somebody post something about, oh, they're so stressed, how about sending them a private message and say, you know, I saw you're so stressed. I'm having a spa party on Thursday night. Would you like to come and I can give you a glass of wine and pamper you a little bit? Okay. Call people and say, I'm doing this new spa party thing with Arbonne. I am having a blast, but I need some practice. Would you have a couple people over and I can pamper you so I can practice this and get a little bit better at it? And you'll get maybe some host rewards out of it. I highly recommend listening to the Cammie Lee, CAMMYLEE, Lee video on booking your 8. She's a master. She is a master at booking parties. I've told this story before. She went from having $14 in her bank account to national vice president in 1 year doing spa parties. And she recently moved from Knoxville, Tennessee to Texas, and within 2 weeks, she had 8 spa parties booked. One was her realtor that sold her her house. You know, I was talking to Melinda earlier today. She stopped over to get some gluten-free bread that my husband made for her. And he actually perfected a recipe that didn't use eggs. And Melinda was allergic to eggs. And it turned out amazing. It tastes so good. I'm addicted to it already. A little side note. Anyway, I was talking to her about, you know, I totally forgot what I was talking to her about now. I got off on that tangent of the bread. Okay, I'll come back to that. Anyway, she is a master, and we need to just perfect this skill at talking to people and asking for presentations. Okay? One thing Melinda said is the beautiful thing about host rewards is it makes it simpler, easier to get bookings from bookings, so you're not constantly out there getting new bookings. So if you work really hard to get those first 8 to 10 to 12 bookings on your calendar, you should be able to keep the momentum going just from people booking from your presentations. That's what I did. I only had a few people that would book parties for me in the beginning. I was a workaholic. I was at the salon all the time. I didn't have friends. I did not have a social life. When Carol said, well, you need to book some parties if you're going to do this, I'm like, I don't have any friends. I have customers. I don't have friends. I don't have a social life. I have kids. I have business. So I actually coerced one of my employees into having a party, and one of my customers I bribed, and with a lot of free tanning. I said, have a party, I'll give you a whole bunch of free stuff. And I built my whole business from those 2 bookings, because from each of those parties I did, I got bookings, and it just snowballed. It snowballed, and I kept getting more and more and more. So a simple way to get your spa party bookings going is host your own. Host one in your own home. Invite people over. Say, you know what? I just want to give everybody a break. I want to pamper you. I want to hand you a glass of wine, put your feet in a foot soak, and we're just going to giggle and laugh and have fun. And no stress. No stress is allowed. We're not even going to talk about work. Okay? That was good for you, Chris. All those teachers, they need a spa party. So invite 5 or 6 people, and invite the ones that you want to target to host their own presentation, because your presentation is all about getting bookings. Okay, so you're going to show them how much fun it is, how much the host is going to earn, all of this stuff. So you're going to look at them and say, you got to have your own. I know you know 3 or 4 or 5 people. It was funny. I know Shayna's on this call, and Shayna kept saying, my host is calling me and more people are coming. And she was supposed to have like 12 people, and I think she ended up with like 9 people. But 9 people, how awesome is that? And your host is excited because she's not like inviting people to who knows what. She's inviting them to a spa party. Okay, so your entire goal for your parties is to get bookings. Make that night just tons of fun and getting dates on your calendar quickly. Don't spread them out 6 months. Okay, concentrate on your small goals. Reaching the small goals will help you get to the big ones. Every day that you can say at the end of your day, I talked to 5 people today, you met your goal. You reached your goal. Just imagine when you talk to 5 people every day for 30 days, that's 150 people that you've talked to. Even if only a few of those booked a party, you're on your way. All you need is 6 to 8 presentations on your calendar out of 150 people. I know you can get 6 to 8. After a year of doing that, you've talked to 1,800 people. Isn't that crazy? That includes the lady at Meijer when you're pushing around your grocery cart. Okay, this making short-term goals turns into long-term achievement. And the beauty, one of the beauties about talking to 5 people every day is you're building a skill that you will have the rest of your entire life. because in the beginning, you're not going to be very good at it. You're going to say something that you kick yourself later and go, oh, that was just totally stupid. I tell myself that all the time. I'm like, oh my word, how did that come out of my mouth? That was so ridiculous. You're not going to say the right things. You're going to fumble. You're not going to ask the right questions. But because you keep doing it, you're going to get really, really good. And Cecilia told me something a long, long time ago. She was in the back of my car, and I was driving her to the airport. Well, actually, Tom was driving. I was talking to her, and she said, Kathe, you are never going to be able to say the wrong thing to the right person or the right thing to the wrong person. And it's like, oh, that's so freeing. Now I can say whatever I want and not worry about messing up. But bottom line, you will get better. You will get better. You'll get better at answering people's questions. You'll get better at overcoming objections. I guarantee that by the end of the first month, you're going to be a different person talking about Arbonne than you were at the beginning. And this is called personal growth, which we preach in Arbonne. One tip for your 5 is to make the list of who you're going to call tomorrow, tonight before you go to bed. So that way you don't procrastinate in the morning thinking, well, I don't know who I'm going to call. I don't know who I'm going to talk to. You make the list. If you know you're going to the grocery store, one of the things on the list is I'm going to talk to at least one person at the grocery store. Okay, if you're going to the gym, I'm going to talk to one person at the gym. Tomorrow, I'm going to the gym. So my goal is I'm going to talk to one person there tomorrow. Somehow, some way, I'm going to talk to one person and somehow bring up Arbonne. Okay, so every night, put your list together. You may not have a name. You might say, I'm going to the bank tomorrow and I'm finally going to talk to that teller. I don't know her name, but I'm going to find it out tomorrow and I'm going to talk to her. You will get disappointments. You will get people slamming the door in your face. You will get people saying you're stupid or don't talk to me about this stuff. I was just talking to somebody a couple days ago about, no, there's not one person in my family, brothers, sisters, or Tom's 9 brothers and sisters that has anything to do with Arbonne. They won't buy it. They think it's stupid. They think it's a scam. Do I get all frazzled about that? Sucks for them, not for me. So let those make you stronger. Those disappointments are simply the enemy trying to take you away from your goal. Take your dreams away from you. Don't let it get in your head and make you want to give up. Don't let them do your dirty work on you. Everybody has disappointments in this business. That's what makes driving the Mercedes so darn fun, because you've had to get through all the disappointments to get to that car. If somebody just handed you something, it's not as fun or worthy as it is if you work for it. My daughter asked me today, she said, Mom, why do you make all of us pay for our own driver's training? I said, because you'll appreciate it more. If I pay for your driver's training, you won't appreciate it. I make my kids buy everything. It's like they don't get anything from me because I want them to appreciate it. There's statistics show that kids who get their college education paid for them don't do as well as kids that pay for it themselves. They appreciate it more. So we don't have to actually pay money for our Arbonne personal growth. We pay in disappointments and overcoming objections and getting through disappointments and all of that. That's how we're paying our dues, so that when we get to the top, we earned it and it's going to feel really good. The consultants that overcome disappointments are the ones that reach their goals. The others are sitting in front of their TV, watching the latest show, one of many shows that have been on since I started way back in the, I used to do another network marketing company way back in the day, before I ever heard of Arbonne. And back in those days, everybody was like, oh, what's going on in Dallas? Who shot JR? And I'm like, what? Because I was busy. But there's still people today sitting on their couch watching the next new television series and saying, well, I tried that Arbonne thing, it doesn't work. No, they didn't work. They didn't work. They didn't overcome those objections. I've been getting great commission checks for 15 years. They started out at like 19 cents. They're not 19 cents anymore. So did they come from me sitting in front of the TV? No, they came from me making phone calls, talking to 5 people a day. So starting today, no matter what, talk to 5 people every day about Arbonne. Get out of the house. Get out of the house. Find somebody in social media that you can send a private message to. Okay? So number 2. So number 1 was 5 people a day. Number 2, have a goal to hold at least 6 presentations per month. And since we know that some are always going to cancel, things happen, you need to, darn it, this is doing this again. I just talked to them. They're saying upgrade to Pro. I already have Pro. I spent an hour on the phone with them today. So, all right, well, we're just going to figure this out. All right, so have a goal to hold at least 6 presentations a month. Some are going to cancel. You're going to need to have 8. You maybe have to have 9 so that you can reach your goal. Do not let anyone else steal your goal from you. When I was working to be RVP, my goal was 10 a month. I always booked 12 just in case. I didn't want to be scrambling if something happened. 6 for Success was started by one of my really good friends, Dana Collins. She's an ERVP with Arbonne, one of the top 10. And she helped so many of us get to vice president by just telling us 6 for success, 6 for success, 6 for success. 6 group presentations. And you can see why. Because if you do an average of 500 a month, then what's going to happen? You're doing 500, or you're doing $2,500 to $3,000 a month. Extra business, okay? So I just wanted to get there a little faster, so I did 10. Learn to host coach. Okay, your host is your partner. There are some great trainings on host coaching. Learn to coach your host so both you and they get the most rewards from their party. Do not skip steps in the host rewards system. We have a great host coaching tool on our website. When you go to your parties, be sure to set your goals. When I drive to one of my presentations, as I drive there, I set my goals. I set the tone for the night. I say, what do I expect? First on my list is more bookings. That's number 1. Because without bookings on my calendar, I have no business. I want at least 2 bookings from every presentation. Why 2? 1 to replace the one I'm doing that night and 1 to grow. Okay, without bookings, my calendar goes dark really, really fast. So bookings are always my top priority, always. Then the sales, PCs, and sponsoring consultants will come. My second goal, have fun and lots of it. Okay, people have enough junk in their life. They have enough stress, enough being told they're not doing the right thing, they're not eating the right thing, they're not taking care of their body right, their family right, their finances right. They have enough of that. They have enough of that. Our job is to let them have some fun and relax. I used to say, you know, one of the things I used to always say in my presentation is that there are statistics out there, scientific studies that have been done, that friends who hang out together have a lower rate of heart attacks and stress and all kinds of stuff. So by us being together tonight and having fun and having our feet in a foot bath, we're lowering our stress level. We're lowering our rates of heart attacks. We're having fun together. So make sure it's fun. Okay, this is not the time to be telling them there's one more thing they're not doing right. Okay, if people have fun and your current host feels special with the pampering and the host rewards, you will reach your first goal of getting those 2 or more bookings. And so have fun, treat your host like a queen, have your booking goal front and center, talk throughout your spa party about hosting, ask and you shall receive. Give a small gift to the first person who hosts. I've done that before. I'll say, and the first person who hosts, I have a gift for them. I'll have somebody right there. I have barely started the presentation. I'll say, I'll host. And I'll say, okay, next week? Yeah, next week. Okay, we'll set the date after the presentation. And then a little while later, I'll hold up my hand and say, the second person that books, I've got a special, okay, I'll do it. You know, make it fun. People need some fun. And get those dates down on your calendar and make them quick. Again, don't draw them out. Lastly, build for events. Events are places that you can take people to hear more about the Arbonne from somebody other than you. Okay? Monthly meetings held by your local VPs are perfect. Don't go unless you're taking a guest. Well, go, but take a guest. Get in the habit of taking guests. Let others build your business for you. If there's a meeting within a 3 or 4 hour drive, be there and take a carload. You'll learn and be inspired. And if you're in a place where there's no meetings within driving distance, you might have to drive a little further in the beginning and then learn and then put on your own meetings and invite your friends and say, I have to practice doing a meeting. Will you come? Be a guinea pig, please. I'll give you something. You'll learn to put on an effective meeting for your team. And even if your team is small, if you don't have a team in your area, get your team together on at least a monthly basis and just have a team building activity. Have that camaraderie time, okay? Work on your skills together and do recognition. Get on calls like this one tonight. I hosted Discover Arbonne call weekly. Invite prospects to hear the opportunity. There's a Discover Arbonne with Keith Kochner in February. Bring a carload. Tammy's team is hosting Dr. Ng on Saturday. Take guests to that. So to conclude, the 3 things are 5 contacts per day, every day, minimum 6 parties per month, every month, and invite guests to everything that's going on. Okay? And lastly, and most importantly, when you have a new business builder, teach them this process. This business is about duplication. And if you are not duplicating 6 levels deep, if something that you're doing is so complicated that it cannot duplicate 6 levels deep, you need to change it. Throw it out, start over again. Keep it simple. Okay, this is a simple system. I want you to do it enough that you will feel confident teaching someone else. And the experience you gain from that is priceless and can, if you want it to, take you all the way to National Vice President with Arbonne. So do it and teach it. Okay? Now, I'm going to unmute you guys. And anybody have any quick questions?
The Tammy Lee, is that on SoundCloud?
If you just Google search and write in Cami Lee booking your 8, it should come up.
Okay.
Anybody else questions?
No.
Okay, so
just basically we need the 6,000, and that includes the 1,000 PQ.
it counts your 1,000 PQB. Yes.
Okay.
Kathy, I have a question.
Sure.
What if you've got a consultant who hasn't done anything in, let's say, 2 months? Now all of a sudden they want to get started. How long does it take to get them to district manager? Because you've missed your 3 months.
It doesn't matter when the 3 months started. I mean, I was a consultant for 4 years before I decided to become a district manager.
Okay, so it doesn't have to be when you first sign up. It's whenever you get them started.
Whenever they decide to start.
Okay.
Yep. Any other questions?
So it took you 4 years
That was stupid.
to get you to DM, huh? Okay. I don't feel so bad right now. I'm thinking, oh man, she got there in 18 months. I'm hearing people getting there in like 18 months. I'm like, but that's from when they actually committed to it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I got there in 18 months from the time I made the decision and committed.
Excellent. Awesome.
Yeah. I love the products. I just didn't want to do the business.
Okay.
My husband was the one that said, hey, you need to do this.
Okay. And now renewing my consultant fee, I don't have to do that until August. That's my year is then, right?
Right.
Okay.
Right. Any other questions? All right.
Thank
Then
you.
I expect if you are a consultant that you're going to be a district manager very soon. And if you're a district manager, I'm going to start seeing some district managers promoted out. And I'm going to see lots of spa parties.
I'm gearing up.
All right. Have a good night, everybody.
Thank you.
Kathy.
Thank you.